What does 50 plus years of astral travel teach one about the infamous Shadow Man, aka Hat Man? In this episode, we move past the fear and look at the Shadow Man through the lens of ancient mythology, biology, the Matrix, and of course my own personal experiences. Imagine you are floating toward your bedroom window, finally detached from your physical body, yay! And ready to drift into some neon nebula or just take a look around the neighborhood. You look toward the corner or out the corner of your astral eye, if you can see it. And there he is, a tall, silent silhouette in a wide-brimmed hat. Maybe you even just only feel a sense of immense dread. That's another sign of the Hat Man there. Now, most people would hit the eject button and wake up screaming. Me, I just wait for the wink or ignore him entirely. So, hey there, starseeds, dreamers, wanderers, and explorers. Welcome back to the Astral Tourists. And today I'm talking a bit about the Shadow Man, aka the Hat Man, the figure many report seeing, but few talk about in any kind of a calm way. But here's the thing. My experiences with him have been surprisingly, well, let's say almost friendly in recent years. At this point, he's basically the night watchman of my subconscious. So before thinking we've wandered into a dark web simulation just yet, let's talk about why he's actually the ultimate admin of the astral plane. The evolution of the guardian and some ancient mythos. I wasn't always this chill about these types of figures. We all have to work through our threshold guardians to get the high-level clearance needed for deeper travels. What I mean by that is that our deeper selves or parts of ourselves have to give us the okay, to keep us psychologically safe. So just know that even though it seems to come naturally to me now, I also had to work through my stuff. And I began working through my stuff when I was very young. And my guardians didn't always wear hats back then. But they were varied. I've had various ones throughout my lifetime so far. So my first threshold guardians were actually snakes, literally encompassing me as I tried to leave my body. So talk about a stress test. And I share more about them and how I learned to move past them in my earlier years episode that you can find on my channel. But just like a game that scales with your experience points, these types of threshold guardians evolve over time. It's like the Matrix. Once you stop seeing the scary code and start seeing the underlying system and patterns, the figures change and evolve over time and experience, and also exposure. I guess that's part of experience. You see these things enough and you learn that you can just ignore them. And, they don't have to be scary things, even though it kind of begins that way. That got me thinking about something. In ancient mythology, gateways between worlds, real or imagined, are almost always protected by some kind of sentinel figure. A guardian. The Egyptians had Anubis, the Greeks had Hermes, and the crossroads were watched over by Hecate. She's one of my favorites, can you tell? One of my all-time favorites is Hecate. So it makes sense that the doorway between waking reality and the astral or even just the dream worlds, they're going to have guardians too. They're not necessarily something sinister, just someone or something standing watch at the thresholds. Moving on to the admin at the window. After more than 50 years of astral travel, I still get various types of hypnagogia and imagery, sometimes sounds too, including the shadow man from time to time. I do not see him all the time at all, but he does pop up every once in a while. Always, he never blocks my path, but simply observes. And I used to bypass him back when I wasn't too sure about him. Like back in my 20s, I wasn't sure, is he an external entity or an internal entity? And I had already gone through my head trying to process this guy. And he never hurt me. Like the snakes never actually hurt me. So I was going more based on, I think he's an internal processing mechanism, but I still wasn't really sure. So I used to bypass him by simply ignoring him. And this works for a lot of entities too. If they can't feed off your fear, they don't have any interest in you for the most part, at least not most of them. And it also works for your own fears, at least for astral travel. So that was my choice back then, was to just ignore him completely. Just be like, I'm zooming on out of here right by you. And nowadays, though, over the years, this has happened over many years, because now I'm over 50. When I see him, he'll sometimes tip his hat or give me a little wink. And he's not even in the room anymore half the time. Well, more than half the time. Mostly if I see him lingering right outside the window or something like that, or in a corner. But, it's very like, oh, there you are again. And then he gives me a hat nod or a wink or something. And it's like, all right, have a good trip, Neo. Because over the years, I have trained my subconscious and my mind and my spirit, etc., 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 to know I'm going anyway. I'm going right on by you. So nowadays, after so many times of going on by him, now he just kind of nods at me. So there's a practical side to this too. When we enter these states, the brain initiates sleep paralysis, a built-in safety feature to keep us from physically acting out our dreams or astral travels. So imagine flying through your bedroom wall, and your physical body trying to come along. That is not a good situation. We do not want to be, sleepwalking and stuff. So I like to think of these things, including the shadow man, as the mind's symbolic way of representing that boundary. He's the guardian process that appears when your consciousness is switching from one operating system to another, however you choose to define it, whether you want to call it from, dream states or dream to astral, or just pure on astral projection or reality shifting, whatever you want to define this as, there's a switching mechanism there that happens. Neon Noor and the Shadow Man sound. Because this figure is such an edgy liminal presence, I've been taking a break from my usual ethereal side chill sounds. I'm currently deep in the digital forge, working on a track that's a bit more cyberpunk and Neon Noor, plus a little EDM. Think dark synths and cyberpunk bliss. In the music, I explore the Shadow Man as a guardian of the grid. He's an edgy figure standing on the threshold of human consciousness. So I was thinking he deserves a soundtrack that feels like a glitchy wink in the matrix. It's experimental music, and you can soon check it out over on my music channel if you like. Again, this is not going to be a meditative soundtrack or anything. This is full on, Shadow Man, cyberpunk, edgy stuff. And I don't know if that's the kind of thing you would like or not, but if you do, you can check it out over there pretty soon. I think I'll get it posted today, but if not today, by tomorrow for sure. I'm almost completely done with it. So check it out if you're into that kind of thing. And I have other songs over there, if you like, that are all different, I think. So I just wanted to put that out there because I've been working on this one pretty hard. And I think I got the vibe, the cyberpunk vibe for him. I know he can be scary, but he's really watching out for us so we don't go sleepwalking and stuff, right? So the takeaway is, if you ever find yourself in that strange in-between and you notice a shadow standing quietly nearby, think about the movie Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and don't panic. Oh my gosh, I totally recommend that movie. Especially for people who love astral projection and just weirdness. So take a breath. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. You aren't being haunted, most likely. You're being cleared for departure. Acknowledge the Matrix consciousness admin and enjoy the flight. He's just the quiet sentinel standing at the edge of dimensions, a watcher in the system, a guardian of the grid. Until next time, happy astral travels. Please give me a thumbs up and a like and subscribe and stuff if you enjoyed the episode and found it useful. Thanks so much. Lots of love, everybody. I'm going to go finish working on that song.